Good morning. How are you guys doing? Welcome to Rise and Radke. Thank you guys for watching on replay on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Be sure to hashtag replay below and let us know where you're watching from. We love to know where everybody's watching from.
But do you see how there's like this much room for me and you're like,
Yeah, because you refuse to.
That's not the truth. You say that's not the truth at all. No, you need to come over some. My chair is not there. I'll have to be doing a crunch for the entire time. Or a squat, rather.
Crunch it.
I'll have to be doing a squat. Good morning. Hello, Molly Andrews.
Ohio, Utah, South Carolina. Let us know where you're watching from this morning. Also, if you're a first-time Rise and Radke viewer, let us know.
Because we are getting a lot of those. We are getting a lot of first-time viewers. A good number of second-time viewers.
First-time viewers, second.
First-time viewers, second-time viewers, third-time viewers. So for you, like Melissa Hunt, who is here quite a lot, thank you, and we appreciate you. Maybe that's it. Maybe we're just not telling people that we appreciate them enough. God, I know how that feels. God knows.
How would you know how that feels?
Y'all never tell me you appreciate all I do. All I do for y'all?
Yeah, almost every day.
No, not true. Ooh, who's here in Lufkin, Texas? Chelsea Glenn, good morning.
You know what? I've had enough of this.
He's out of here. He is so mad, y'all. I could tell he was mad. He's rarely ever mad. He's going to get some coffee. I got me some, okay. Missy Williams just said, I got me some gua stones. So that last week, y'all saw me rubbing my gua stones on my face. It's supposed to help with the inflammation in your face. But I get online to look up how do I use these gua stones. And there's all these videos and all these explanations and how it's supposed to drain your sinus passages and help with inflammation. And maybe, shockingly, you don't actually have a double chin. Maybe it's just been inflammation this whole time. I find that hard to believe. But I'm trying to use them up here too. So, but it's like a whole thing. Like you can actually do a treatment on your face.
You look like a different woman.
No, I don't. I look like the same one. Mm-mm. David's not mad. David is not mad. Christine Delana, he's rarely mad. Hair looking on point today. Who said that? Barb. Thank you, Barb. You know what I did? First of all, I just watched it this morning. But also, I used my Revlon. They're doing them now, like Lange is doing them too. But the big round, and it blow dries and curls your hair at the same time. Because I am one of those women that cannot do the brush and the hair dryer at the same time. You are asking too much of me, world. You are asking too much. So instead, I use this Revlon, and it blow dries and it curls it, but it makes it really, really sleek. Which sometimes I like and sometimes I don't. David was also able to use it this morning.
See right here? You get that?
Look at David's. Y'all, what are we going to do?
I just keep packing it up. You ought to see how much stuff I have in my hair. It would be...
You have a ton of product?
Yeah, you wouldn't even be able to see it. It'd be so tall.
Oh, it feels nasty.
Well, I have too much hair. I'm trying to keep it tamed.
I think that's amazing. I think there's a lot of men at your age that are jealous of that. I mean, they're not on here watching. They got better things to do. But Sherry says she loves Lange. I don't use a lot of their stuff. I use 2 of their sprays. I use their heat protectant and their sea salt spray, and I do like both of those. But other than that, I've never really used anything. Good morning. Vicky's here, and Lake of the Pines, Texas. That sounds so beautiful. So anyway, well, happy weekend. No, not true. Let me start over. Happy Monday. How was your weekend? Did y'all do anything spectacular this weekend? Did you just stay indoors the entire time? Tell us what you did. We want to know how your weekend was. We'll tell you how ours was. Friday, I was really sick. If you guys remember, Thursday, our Rise and Radke was really short on Thursday. Friday, I wasn't feeling much better. So I got off of here with you guys on Friday and immediately called my doctor and said, I don't feel like coming in, but here's the deal. And I explained everything. And she said, I really think that you have had allergies that have turned into a sinus infection. I'm going to start you on a steroid pack. We'll know if we were right if it goes away. And I'm telling you, by Sunday morning, I was completely myself again. So that's how you would know, right? So it had turned into a sinus infection, and a steroid pack has knocked it out. But I have been starving this weekend. Do y'all do that when you're on a steroid pack?
I think it does supposed to make you hungry, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was starving this weekend. Good morning from Michigan and Missouri.
I remember when I was doing bodybuilding, I took a lot of steroids to get my weight up.
That is one thing, David. You've tried a lot of things over the years, but you have never been a bodybuilder.
Because I've already got a built body.
So Bobby McGee just said, I've crafted all weekend. I'm a crafty crafter. Now, can she continue to watch the show?
She might just need to not comment as often.
Crafty crafters, let me tell you something. I don't trust people who own glue guns. I never have. I never will. Okay? What are y'all doing with those things? I don't trust them. I don't like how hot they get. What's all that stringiness about? I don't like it. I don't like people that can sew buttons on pants. Can't do that.
Trying to prove?
Okay? I don't.
What are they trying to prove?
What I like is
Sort of
people that can make buttercream frosting. Those are my people. Okay? If you're a crafter, we ask that you sit in the back of the room. You don't speak unless spoken to. If you're a baker, I want you to come closer to the front. I'm teasing.
Maybe a Tutorial Tuesday, you could do something with a thimble.
What?
Maybe.
That sounds dirty, David.
Maybe.
What are you saying?
Maybe on Tutorial.
Who says that? Maybe on Tutorial Tuesday, you could do something with a thimble. What does that even mean? And also, who uses a thimble anymore? What did y'all even use thimbles for? What were they for?
Protection.
For protection from what?
Oh, I think you know the pointed end.
That made me snort. What was a thimble ever used for?
So you wouldn't stick yourself. Like when they were putting the needle through. Ding, ding.
Oh, I never knew that. Okay. I baked raspberry scones. Okay, see? Now there's bakers and then there's too much of a baker.
Then there's show-offs.
I'm going to need you, Jamie, to go back again to the back of the room. Okay? I'm going to need you to head back to the back with the crafters. Raspberry scones, that's too bakey. What I need is I opened up a box of brownies and I made them for my family. And I went OT, over the top, by putting in some chocolate chips.
And we ate them all before we ever put them in the oven.
That's right. Now, those are the people I'm looking for.
Those are the front rowers.
Those are the front rowers.
You mixed up cookie dough, but it never made it
into the oven? Welcome to Rise and Radke. Okay? If you had a weekend like that, please tell us about it. Kate Ruby says it's protection for your finger when sewing by hand. Well, there's your first problem. You're sewing by hand. There's people that do that. If we want to keep the economy alive, you let somebody else sew it by hand.
Maybe she.
Okay, Matt Wall did Jell-O shots. Now, see, that's a different side of the room. And David and I aren't quite sure where you should sit. I wouldn't say you need to go to the back. I wouldn't say you need to come to the front.
They're on the left side. You know, the light, that light is starting to go out over there, so it's a little bit darker on the left-hand side.
That's where Jell-O shots go. I'm going to ask you to go up and over to the left, please. Major Texas gold bars and my family went insane. Oh, maybe that's what my family's problem is. Maybe they've just gone insane. I'm so glad y'all liked them. Yay!
Oh, you made a couple of good ones. You made roast that went over very well.
I did make a roast, and I used a recipe that probably everybody and their dog uses. I had never done it before with the golden mushroom soup. I made a really good roast the other day. We snacked up. We ate on that for a couple of days. But tell them what I did on Saturday night. Because, see, I was feeling better. Where did Bethany go?
What?
Bethany McGee just said, I ate ice cream this weekend with a scoop of icing. Welcome, Bethany.
You are taking things higher.
We've been thinking about you and praying for you. We're so glad you're here. Okay. The Jell-O shots can hang with Sharon Miller. God knows that's true. God knows. She's your team leader. Okay.
But then Friday night.
Oh my goodness. Stephanie Evangelou says my mom was admitted with COVID-19 and is on a ventilator.
Oh.
And we lost my dad last month. Stephanie, are you serious? Stephanie, we are so sorry. What can we do for you? What do you need? Welcome to 666. Oh God. No! Somebody, okay. 667. I don't like it when it's 666. People that will help you in any way you need. David and I will do whatever we can for your family. Do you live close by? I don't know where she lives. If you live close by, I'll make you a casserole. I don't ever know what to do other than that. But seriously, we will do whatever you need. I'm sorry to hear that. I really, really am. We're praying for your mother. So I made a lemon cake, Kim Builder says.
Somebody ate cake and they were brave.
I cried in a closet and hid from my 5 children for an hour.
Gotta respect that.
I gotta respect that. Katrina Beck, you're one of us. I don't know what that.
I bet during, no, if you do this, it's east side, like East Texas.
No, I'm not
Wait,
gonna do
am
that.
I doing it the wrong way?
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm far too middle-aged.
I feel like during this quarantine, a lot of people are putting locks on their closets. You know, a closet isn't normally where you have a lock. But this is a good season to have a lock on the closet.
It is, but you didn't tell them what I did Saturday night, what I did for the family, because I was feeling better.
Saturday night she was feeling better. She made chicken steak fingers. No, what am I talking about?
I hate it when I literally do an emotional drum roll for you and then you mess it up with your words. I made homemade steak fingers. What are you doing?
Chicken fried steak fingers.
That's not a thing, man. That's not what we call them. We say
fingers?
chicken fried steak when it's this big. We say steak fingers when it's chicken fried steak, but they're this big.
But people up in the Midwest and the North, they may not know what that they make steak fingers. What do you mean? You just cut them in strips, or?
Yeah, you cut up a steak and you fry it. You know what, Michigan? That's what you do. People from Michigan are like, hey, why? They're like, oh, why are you talking? No.
That's not Michigan.
Okay. Why are you talking?
Oh,
no. Why are you talking to us like that?
That's not Michigan.
How do you know it's not? Okay. We don't know what a steak finger is.
You're talking like you're in the Dakotas.
Am I? Mm-hmm. I felt like it was more Canada. Hey, what's a steak finger, eh? Chicken fried steak is when you take a piece of steak and you batter it and you fry it. And normally it's about this big. Pauline Moper, don't go anywhere. I have something to tell you. It's about this big, okay? Steak finger is when you take a steak and you cut it into strips and you beat the crap out of it and season it up so it's all good and tender. And then you batter it and then you fry it. And I made a ton of those for my family Saturday night with homemade mashed potatoes, not out of a box. Even though I really like the ones out of a box. I see no problem with that. Homemade and homemade cream gravy. And that's what we did. And we watched Hobbs and Shaw. Because it was family movie night. That's what we picked.
Somebody in New York said they didn't know what a steak finger was.
Really?
Yeah. And somebody said you were sounding Irish. I didn't get the Irish.
Oh, thank you. I've been working on that. Okay, anyway. So, the other
Pennsylvania, not a clue what a steak finger is.
Y'all, you don't know what a steak finger is? You know what? That's it. We're having an event. We're having a Rise and Radke event. And I'm going to have you guys come over to Lufkin. And I'm going to fix steak fingers. And that's going to be one of the meals that we have. We're having a Rise and Radke event. And I'm going to fix steak fingers. I mean, I'm not going to fix them. But I'm going to hire somebody that can fix them.
What if you did a tutorial Tuesday tender steak fingers?
Tutorial Tuesday for tenders? No, I don't want to do another. I can't keep cooking with these kids in my house.
Although you can get a lot of aggression out when you're tenderizing the steak.
I can. You're absolutely right. The other thing that we did this weekend was we went to our separate corners for a little while. We said, yes, Rocco, we would love for you to play Fortnite. We've been keeping him off of Fortnite, but now we're not because we don't have really any hope left at all. So we're like, yes, Rocco, go play Fortnite. And Remy was watching a movie. And then I went outside on the back porch and I wrote for a little while because eventually I would like to release a second book. God willing. God knows I never write for it. But I did write a chapter. And that's why I told my friend Pauline Moper, she just jumped on here a minute ago. And I said, don't go anywhere. So I wrote a chapter for my book last night. And my second book is just going to be, look, it's not going to teach you any life lessons, okay? It's just going to be about the South and being raised in the South around really strong, opinionated Southern women. And so I've just started writing stories that have happened to my family. And one of the stories that I wrote last night involves my friend Pauline Moper, who is on here. And she is a nurse practitioner and her husband's a doctor. They're very well loved and very well respected in our town. But they are Indian, and they're from India, and not Indiana, but India. And they're very smart, and their children are very smart, and they're all really beautiful and attractive, and they're just really better people than, say, David and I. Okay? And our daughters are best friends, and they've been best friends for years. And a couple of years ago, they invited us over to their house for dinner. Now, when you go over to an Indian family's house for dinner, it's not like when people come over to my house for dinner. If you come over to my house for dinner, I'm going to pull out my paper plates that have the designs on them. Okay? I'm not going to keep you using those white ones with the little crinkle edges. No. You're going to get paper plates with designs on them. You're going to get Dixie paper plates. Okay?
With the design of the season.
The design of the season, maybe a pumpkin or two. You're also going to get a red Solo cup, but it's going to have your name on it. You don't have to guess at my house where your cup is. You're going to know because I'm going to write it on there in a Sharpie.
Red Solo cup.
I fill you up. Okay, so anyway, but when you go over to an Indian family's house, they light candles. They have Indian music playing. Their whole house smells like an exotic experiment.
It's an event.
It's an event. And I wrote about the time that they invited David and I over, and they asked that we would bring my parents. Not David's parents, my parents. Not David's, mine, okay? David's class acts. They would have fit in wonderfully. But instead they invited mine. David's parents don't live here. I bet the Mopers wish they did now. But instead they invited mine, because mine live here. And Pauline said, I want to invite your parents over because I want to have them as our honored guests. I can't imagine why anybody would want to have my parents as honored guests. Ever. Not ever. I can't imagine it. David's parents, yes. Honored. For sure. Mine, what? So she said, I want to have your parents over as honored guests. When I told my mother, Pauline Moper would like to have you over for dinner, she said you are her honored guest. I thought my mother would go, what? That is ridiculous, Melissa. No, I'm not anybody's honored guest. What have I ever done that would prove for me to be an honored guest, Melissa? That's just not right. That's what I thought she would do. But what she did was, it's about time. It is literally about time that somebody honored us. We are elders, and I tried to raise you to give me respect, but Lord knows I didn't. I didn't raise you. I don't know what their parents did in Indian culture for them to give their parents such respect, but they did something right and I didn't do it. That's what I got instead. Okay?
Maybe if you took Melissa's advice on here, Melissa said maybe it's time for us to take the step up to the Chinette disposable plates.
No, those are expensive. Those are like for Thanksgiving.
We would only use those if we were truly honoring.
So, this is a story of what happened the night that we went over to the Mopers. Do I tell it or do I just put it in the book?
I think you gotta give a little bit of it. Now that you put it up like this.
We go
and
over.
Pauline has stayed on here. You know Pauline didn't want to stay on here.
Oh, God, no. You know she didn't. She probably got on and thought, oh, Melissa is doing the live again and no one wants to listen to her. But she continues to talk and talk and talk. That's my Pauline Moper. She loves it when I do that. I think maybe it's wrong to do it. I'm not sure if it's politically incorrect.
But she still
But like with most things that are politically incorrect, you're just going to get this from me. So anyway, so here's the deal. So we go over to their house. They have so much food. It just smells like shawarma. I don't know what that is, but I think it's a thing. It smells like chicken and curry and spices, right? Their table is laid out.
And they didn't, I say they, I'm sure James encouraged her, but Pauline, she was the one doing it. But she didn't just...
It literally takes her 26 hours to make a meal.
Yeah, because she didn't just go, hey, what do you want? We'll make this one dish. No, she makes like 4 or 5 entrees, all kind of sides.
Oh, no, Pauline, no. She makes all of the dishes. All of the dishes.
Did you see how you slipped into South Dakota there?
Okay, anyway, I'm trying my accents this morning. I've got India down. I think I've pretty much got Ireland. And I saw a splash of Pennsylvania in there. Anyway, Pauline cooked for hours. Like literally, this meal takes her like 24 hours of prepping and cooking. And it's not like she can just go to the Lufkin Indian market and pick up some spices. You got to drive to Houston for that. So it was a whole thing. Well, my parents come in and my mother has brought her a gift because apparently when you go over to someone's house, You're supposed to give them a gift. I didn't know this. I brought a bottle of Coke. Pauline took it and put it in the pantry and shut the door. She wasn't even going to serve it.
I thought...
But my mother
I thought your presence was always the gift.
I thought it was too. Come to find out, in Southern culture, my presence is not the gift.
In fact, it causes...
Don't move right now. Don't move for emphasis.
It causes you to need to bring a greater gift because you did come.
Exactly. So, wait, what? Okay, Anyway, this is the story. This is what happened. It's going to be great in the book, but I'm just going to briefly tell it to y'all. The meal begins, and it is quite a thing. It is loads of food and different courses, and they take you and they sit you down at the table like this. Thank you for coming to our home, and then they sit you down. And thank you for coming to our home.
I think everybody was kind of seated,
and they
right?
sat everybody.
Yeah,
they sat. They told you where to sit, and then she sits at one head of the table, and Dr. James sits at the other head of the table. Okay, and they're like this at the heads of the table, and he sits there and he welcomes us all into their home. And then he stands up and he walks and he stands beside Pauline. So she is seated in her chair like royal beauty, okay? And she, in all of her garb. And he stands beside her, dressed very handsomely and nice. And he says, welcome to our home. And I would like to honor you with a prayer tonight. And he says something to that effect. I want to honor you. We are going to pray over the food. And he is looking up. Every time I tell it. He is looking around the table and he is talking like this. And he will say, so we are going to begin the meal tonight. And he will do his head like this. And he'll look at me and then he'll do his head like this, okay? And right about the moment that he says, we would like to begin with a prayer, an opening prayer, he looks at my mother. That was the wrong thing to do. He has talked about how they are the honored guests and how they respect the elders in their family.
He's just making eye contact with everybody.
He's just simply making eye contact. And he looks at my mother and he does his head right at the exact moment that he says, and we will begin with a prayer.
Okay, I'm gonna be Dr. James and you be Annette.
You must know that they are a lovely Christian family and they want to pray over this meal because in their prayer they're going to give honor to my parents. Probably to God too, but also my parents. This is what happened. I and my mother.
And we would like to start with a prayer. And
dear Lord, we just thank you tonight for this family.
This is in another person's home. Now, maybe a lot of you don't pray before meals, but those of you that
Lord
do,
knows we forget.
Generally, the person, at that home is going to be the one to pray, unless they very specifically say, would you pray for us?
But it happens so quick.
An eye glance.
It happens so quick. So do it again, David. Do it again.
And we would like to begin with a prayer.
Dear Lord, we just come to you today. And we thank you for this food. The entire time that she's praying, my dad is kicking her under the table as hard as she can. So I'm looking. Now, that the mopers are as kind as could be. So they're like this. But I'm staring straight at her. And this is exactly what she's doing during the prayer. You're my dad. Keep your head down. Okay? We just thank you for this food. We just ask God that you would... We got in the car. She still had, when she was done praying, she said, amen. And Dr. Moper went, amen, and thank you, Miss Annette. You don't do that. You don't do that. We got in the car. She was so embarrassed. And anyway, it's a story that...
Well, she wasn't embarrassed until we had to explain what
she could not figure out what in the world my dad was tapping her under the table for. Anyway, to this day, it's a story that my mom asked that we not repeat. Mm-hmm.
So if you
she has literally said, please don't ever tell that story.
So if you haven't shared yet, go ahead and share this morning.
Y'all do share. This is a good one. Okay, that's it. I don't know. I started writing that for the book. So it's just going to be in a collection of stories that have happened to me in the South. This is what happens when you are born and raised in the South with really strong, opinionated, fun Southern women. I mean, sometimes they're just going to throw your culture out the window and make it their own. Okay, so...
I think we've talked about, it's not official or anything, but we've talked about the title of the book being Chicken Fried Women. Mm-hmm. Talking about the chicken fried steaks, and then The chicken tenders, maybe throughout the book, as you're telling these stories, you can throw in
recipes. It's already done. Shh. Hey, we've been on here too long. Sorry that we kept you so long this morning.
Wait, I have some stuff to say.
Oh, you do? Oh my gosh, really? Okay.
I had a big weekend.
Were you talking about your nap schedule? Because it was big.
I find that if I wake up too early, I'm going to have to go back down for a mid-morning nap.
Would you finish? Because people have been on here a long time.
Okay. No, you talked about Hobbs and Shaw. Mm-hmm. We went back and saw an old one. Do not watch this in front of the kids, but we went back and watched Spy with Melissa McCarthy.
The best.
Hilarious.
The best.
I
that paper. I am burning up.
I have been seeing something for a long time, and so I finally just jumped into the first couple
that's
episodes.
why you're keeping them here.
I think I've seen the first 3 episodes of the show Dirty Money on Netflix.
Well, that's not what I thought you were going to say.
Anyway, the first 3 episodes of season 1, I really liked that. I thought it was good. A documentary of Dirty Money.
Get to what you wanted to tell them.
But then last night...
Here it is. Oh, don't do that. That is sacrilegious. No. You will never be the honored guest.
Last night, if you didn't catch it, I don't care, male, female, basketball fan or not. If you did not catch the 10-part documentary on, it's called
The Last Dance.
The Last Dance. It's on Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. It kind of focuses on their last run, their 6th NBA championship, but it also goes back and pulls a lot of, history and kind of groundwork for him. The first 2 episodes came on last night. It was amazing. Even Melissa said, "This is your."
Yeah, me. What?
Don't do that.
It was very, very good. But I just, being a kid of the 80s and 90s, I just remember that being super huge. And they also play like the Beastie Boys and stuff like that during this. And so it's very nostalgic. It's very nostalgic of that time. And so I think you guys would love to watch it. It's really, really very good and very well done.
It's done well. I will tell you this. There's 2 versions. So they aired one version on ESPN. We recorded the one on ESPN2, which was edited for language. And then it came out, I think, at midnight on Netflix. And I don't know if they have both options on there. So anyway.
Do you want to watch it with your kiddos?
I think that, probably look for the edited version just to be safe. So.
Really, really, really good. You guys would like it, especially if you're a kid of the 80s and 90s. You will feel it in your bones, trust me. So that was really cool. But that's it for us. Have a wonderful Monday. I would like to ask you guys one more thing. On Instagram, I'm doing an Instagram live tonight with my buddy, Jonathan Merritt. I think it's going to be really, really interesting, but I'm going to only go live on Instagram. So if you have an Instagram account and you follow Jonathan Merritt, or you don't, go follow Jonathan Merritt right now. I'm going to be on his Instagram tonight, and it's going to be very funny. We're going to have a great time, and I would not want you to miss it. So go to Instagram, follow Jonathan Merritt, and you'll see him advertising for me. And we're going to have a little happy hour tonight at 6 o'clock, and we'd love for you to be a part.
6 o'clock Eastern, right?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it's 6 o'clock Eastern. It'll be 5 o'clock Central, which will be 3 o'clock Pacific. So 6, 5,
I
and
can't
3.
understand the time zone. Make it stop. All right. Okay, everybody, have a great day, and don't tell my mother that I shared that story. Okay.
See y'all.